In 1785 in Ingolstadt, a manuscript was seized. Every historian agrees it was burned. The Bavarian State Archives hold a different inventory, one that lists the codex as surviving. The single candle sputters in the stone chamber. The air is thick with decayed paper and cold stone condensation. You sit across from the vault where the document waits. The council's own minutes dated July 1782 record the inventory, but one entry is redacted even in the classified copy. If you've ever watched the news and felt the pieces don't add up, you know the frustration of being gaslit by the system. The lodge minutes from that same July name the 7 bloodlines, eyewitness accounts of the Ingolstadt raid list, exactly which codices were seized. The council's own inventory confirms the Ark blueprint survived. Why the translation was never published remains unknown. The specific vault location was redacted from the FOIA release. The manuscript itself describes a system still operating, not an 18th century secret society. Your fingers trace the cracked leather binding. The wax seal crumbles at the touch, dried blood still staining the parchment beneath. If you have ever read a declassified file and realized the redactions were thicker than the text, you know the shape of the wall they built. The 1801 vault seal was broken last year. The smell of copper, old ink, rises as the manuscript is unrolled. Genealogical registers from the parish archives in Frankfurt list the same names, uninterrupted from 1785 to 1945. You are now looking at the third layer of the secret. The manuscript does not describe a society that met in secret. It describes a structure that was always meant to remain hidden. If what you're reading started to shift something, stay. This is where that continues. The Codex contains 3 levels of initiation. The first level receives general instruction. The second level learns the names. The third level learns the locations. Each level corresponds to a specific degree, but the 33rd degree holds something else entirely. The structure described in the Codex contains 3 levels of initiation. The first level receives general instruction. The second level learns the names. The third level learns the locations. The 33rd degree is not a promotion within the organization. It is a gate. The document states that the 33rd degree reveals the true purpose of the entire hierarchy. The previous 32 degrees are training. The final degree is the operation. Declassified MI5 files from 1946 confirm that post-war Masonic continuity programs were established. The names match the 1785 inventory. The programs were designed to preserve the knowledge and the bloodlines. Here's what changes everything. The manuscript does not describe an 18th century secret society. It describes a system still operating, one that selects initiates based on birth, not merit. The Codex names a specific date, a specific family, a specific vault. It also names a location that still exists, still operates, still selects. The vault is not in Ingolstadt. It is not in Vienna. It is in a city that appears on no map, but that every intelligence agency knows. Now here's the detail the researchers tried to bury. The 33rd degree does not grant access to knowledge. It grants access to the lineage. The initiate must prove descent from one of the 7 bloodlines named in the 1785 inventory. If you have ever wondered why global instability has no coherent explanation, the Codex provides an answer, one no news network will read on air. The 33rd degree is the key to the system. It is not the top of the ladder. It is the door to a different ladder entirely. The Codex lists the 47th page. You see the ink, faded gill gold. The smell of iron rises from the parchment. The stone floor beneath you seems to vibrate. Remember the 1785 raid? That raid missed one codex, the one you are reading now. The structure described in the Codex contains 3 levels of initiation. The first level receives general instruction. The second level learns the names. The third level learns the locations. The 33rd degree is a permanent appointment to the council. The manuscript claims the grid is complete. 47 families, 33 degrees, 144,000 selected. The document states the countdown began in 2009. Architectural blueprints from the Austrian Engineering Museum show underground structures built in 1873 matching the Codex's description, with additions dated 2004. The blueprint labels one chamber as the 33rd vault. The Codex says that the 33rd degree does not end with the initiate. It ends with the initiate's bloodline. The council selects from specific families, not from applicants. The selection happens before birth. What the next page says, the council redacted. The final entry is a single word: collapse. The Codex does not say when. The lodge minutes from July 1782 are still in the Bavarian State Archives. They can be requested. They have never been digitized. If the document is accurate, that countdown has already started. You are not reading about history. You are reading an instruction manual that is still in use. The original codex is still under lock in Frankfurt. The library catalog lists it as destroyed. The archival staff know the truth, but their silence was sworn. Drop your answer. Will you let them keep the full transcription hidden? Or do you want to see what the redacted page actually says in the next video? In the next chapter, we trace the bloodlines from Frankfurt to Vienna and the names you will recognize. You now know where the system was designed. The question no one answered yet. Who is running it now? The blueprints also contain a detail that the museum staff do not include in public tours. A corridor beneath the main vault connects to a secondary chamber that is not marked on any official map. The entrance to that corridor is hidden behind a wall that was built in 2003. The Codex describes this exact configuration. It names the architect who designed the corridor. It names the family that funded the construction. The architect's name appears in the genealogical registers from Frankfurt, the same registers that list the names from 1785 to 1945. You begin to understand why the translation was never published. The document does not just describe a system. It provides the coordinates of every council vault in Europe. It names the specific cities where the bloodlines maintain their archives. The Ingolstadt raid seized 43 codices. The inventory from the Bavarian State Archives lists 44. The 44th Codex is the one you are reading now. The council has spent 240 years trying to recover it. The manuscript describes a council that operates in plain sight. Its members hold positions in banking, academia, intelligence agencies, and publishing. They do not meet in lodges. They meet in boardrooms. The Codex names the corporations that the council controls. One of those corporations owns the building in Frankfurt where the Codex is stored. Another owns the museum in Vienna where the 33rd vault was constructed. The bloodlines do not need to hide their ownership. They hide their connection to each other. The genealogical registers prove this connection. The same surnames appear across 4 centuries. The same families that controlled the council in 1785 still control it today. The selection is not based on merit. It is based on birth. The Codex describes the selection process in detail. The council identifies pregnant women from the bloodlines. The child is designated from conception. The 33rd degree is not earned. It is inherited. You know now that the system is not a secret society in the conventional sense. It is a caste system that has lasted for more than 2 centuries. The 33rd degree is the mechanism that keeps the bloodlines in power. The manuscript claims that the bloodlines are not limited to Europe. They established branches in the United States in 1848. They established branches in South America in 1870. The grid is truly global. The grid is designed to survive the collapse of any single branch. If the European Council falls, the American Council continues. If the American Council falls, the Asian Council continues. The system is built to survive anything. The Codex states that the grid is already in its final phase. The countdown that began in 2009 is the countdown to activation, not destruction. The grid is preparing to consolidate its control. The Council knows that the Codex exists. They know that you are reading it now. They have tried to bury the translation, to block the FOIA release, to keep the vault location redacted. They have failed.